This episode of the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast is brought to you by the Podcast Reach System. Are you ready to exponentially reach more profitable customers? Launching and hosting your own show is your proven best solution for networking, client attraction, and establishing your celebrity expert brand. Visit www.podcastreachsystem.com and claim your rightful place as the leading star of your industry so you make a difference for your community, market, and audience. Welcome to the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast. Join us as we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who reveal what they are doing to make the world a better place by being part of it. Be sure to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, lean in, tune in, get your notepad and 2 pens ready, and let's get started.
My name is Adam Homey, and I am honored by your wise decision to tune in and invest in yourself today. Right now, we are speaking with Patty Farmer, who is known as the marketing, media, and money expert. She's an award-winning marketing and media strategist, international speaker, podcast host, magazine publisher, and seven-figure event producer. As a global influencer and thought leader, she works with women CEOs, entrepreneurs, and speakers who are experts in their field to help them fully identify their expertise, attract and convert their ideal buyers, gain massive visibility, package their knowledge, and position them in the marketplace to leverage the media and create marketing strategies that are profitable, not painful. Her mission is to help her clients make a big impact in the world and bigger deposits in their bank account while designing a lifestyle they want to live. So, Patty, welcome aboard.
Thank you so much for having me, Adam. I'm so excited to be here.
All right. So the first question, and if you could expand upon this in a little more detail than I shared in your bio, how does the work that you do make the world a better place for your clients, customers, and society at large?
I think the way that it makes a big impact is because I don't believe that I'm in the information business. I think a lot of people think we're in the information business. I'm in the transformation business. Google is in the information business, right? So for me, it is all about starting with lifestyle. And what is important to me is to help them design the lifestyle they want to live and then build a business that supports that lifestyle, not the other way around. So by doing that and starting with the lifestyle we want to live, it creates transformation for them and for their clients as well.
Wow. So what is it that you do specifically in your own words?
So in a nutshell, what I do is I help my clients to master their marketing, leverage the media, and monetize their business. That's really what it's after me. Those 3 things it comes down to really be able to have that lifestyle we talked about previously.
That's great. Now, what are a few questions that you might consider the frequently asked questions that people bring to you while they're working through their process of deciding to work with you?
Well, the first one, if I had $1 for every time I've been asked this question, is so where should I be on social media? How can I get booked on more stages? And what can I do to make more money?
Okay. Yeah.
That's what they want to know.
Well, especially that first one, where should I be on social media? Now, that's something that I've discovered is a unique journey for everybody. And I have been told about all these networks I need to be on, and because I'm not on them or I'm not on them a certain way, I'm not truly in business. Usually shared with me by somebody who is looking to make money off me by having me run advertisements on that platform.
Well, I think it's really all about the short answer there is really, where should you be? You should be where all your ideal clients are. That's where you should be.
That's to me, that's really simple. I mean, there are 1,000 platforms out there, and there comes a point that A, you can only do so much of it, and B, in some places, just not authentic. I mean, I believe that there have probably been a total of 3 photos taken of me in the past 5 years, and 2 of them were without my permission. So do you really think I belong on Instagram?
That's funny.
Yeah.
But people should be thinking about these things when they're making their decisions, right?
Right. So yeah, and to me, if you're not being authentic in how you do it, then that's really going to come through. I used to be on Twitter as well, and I never even liked logging into Twitter, much less being on it. So it was pretty obvious that I was using Twitter as a repeat station, and it got pretty much the engagement it deserved as a result.
That's funny. I get 74% of my closed business originates on Twitter.
Well, see, that works for you.
Right.
Yeah. So the only correct answer is your answer.
That's right. Where are your ideal clients? For sure.
All right. So what are a couple questions that you wish people would ask you?
Oh, I love this. So I think two really are the most important. One would be, where should I leverage my time, energy, and money? I wish they would ask me that, right? To get the results that they want. I would love that question. And the second one would be, what is the time frame and format in order to achieve the results I want? Meaning, is a group program best for me? Is it better for me to work one-on-one? A lot of times it isn't about, let's go with price and say, oh, well, let me work with you for 3 months, when really to achieve those goals, it really should be 6 months or 9 months, right? And it should be in this format versus that format. So I wish they would ask me those questions. What format and time frame is going to get me the results I want?
Right. So let's shift gears for a minute and let's discover a little bit more about you. What would people who know you be surprised to learn about you?
This is funny. Two things. The first thing I think they'd be surprised to know is that even though I've been a speaker for over 10 years, what they'd be surprised to know is that when I first became a speaker, for 18 months, I threw up every single time before I got on the stage. Okay. Every single time. And the second thing they'd be surprised to know, I think, would be that I once closed a $10,000 deal in the women's bathroom.
Actually, neither of these things surprise me. I've heard crazier stories.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have a funny story about the unique closing thing. This was many, many years ago when I was in a different business, and I had somebody contact me. She called while she was in a salon getting a pedicure, which I found was a very interesting place to initiate a business conversation. So the second time she called, which was a few weeks later, I didn't even think she was a prospect, but then she called this is when I lived on the East Coast, at midnight my time.
Ow.
I was asleep and I didn't really know who was calling, even though I had that thing that didn't have them announce their name. So for some weird reason, I answered it. Maybe I thought it was my girlfriend at the time. I don't know. And when I recognized who it was, I said, "You're getting a pedicure this time of night?" Well, we signed our paperwork the next morning.
There you go.
Yeah, that's one of my more interesting, even though it's kind of a low-key kind of interesting, stories about unique circumstances around closing deals. And in that case, it was just the humor.
I think that sometimes it really can be. I was sitting at an event one time where somebody said, you know what, I don't really want that whole package. What I really want to know is this. And they just happened to be sitting next to me, and I just looked at them and said, I can help you with that. And she said, really? And we closed the deal.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. So what do you hope people say about you when you're not around to hear it?
I hope people think that I'm kind and generous, because I am.
Yep. Well, Princess Alessandra must be resonating with that, because she is really performing some supervisory duties right now. Look at this.
Look at that.
All right, Alessandra, seriously, you have to sit aside here for a few minutes. If you could go back in time and change one thing that you've done or one thing that's happened with you, what would it be and why?
I would say that based on the game-changing event of becoming a speaker, I would have embraced it and become a speaker much, much sooner.
Great. What famous person, alive or dead, would you like to meet? And if you had the opportunity, what questions would you have for them?
I would say Gayle King. And the question I would ask her would be, how did she go into business with her best friend and have it not affect their friendship and still keep that a priority?
That is something, because I have seen so many stories of people going into business based on friendship, or even better, or shall we say worse, is they meet somebody at the networking cocktail function at the event, and based on having had 2 martinis together, they decided they would make perfect JV partners.
It's so silly. But you know,
Yeah.
Gail and Oprah, I mean, they are like the epitome of being friends, and then Oprah becoming so wealthy, and then look at what happened, and they managed to make it work, stay best friends, and still be successful. And I think that is a skill set for sure.
Oh, it certainly is. Like working with your spouse or your significant other. I've seen some of those stories as well.
Yeah, for
Uh-huh.
absolute sure.
Yeah. What motivates and inspires you to keep going when you're having a tough time or facing a challenge?
For me, when I'm having a tough time, I find, especially in business, to take my eyes off myself and my own business and go serve someone else. It's amazing how when you just stop looking at it and you go and you serve and support somebody else, it makes you feel good. And when you come back, you have fresh eyes, and it works for me every single time.
Yeah, I have had situations where I decided to just shut everything down and walk away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a brief story here. Actually, there was this happened about 12 years ago, and it seemed I was batting a 0 streak. I kept hearing no, 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 no on proposal after proposal after proposal. So there was this one proposal we had out that I thought for sure the client was going to say yes to, because they were a repeat client, and B, we created the proposal because they asked for it.
Right.
And then it happened on a Wednesday morning. I hear from them that, well, no, we changed our mind. We're not going to do it. And I said, okay, well, if you people are all going to say no to me, I'm going to say no to you. I shut off my computer, went for a walk down the park for about 3 hours. Nobody knew where I was. I didn't take my cellular device with me. I couldn't be found. When I came back, I discovered that for about 2.5 of those hours, my assistant had been trying to find me, because that same client said, oh, well, on second thought, we'll do it. And they were trying to find me to collect the payment. And one of my other no's from about 3 days ago also appeared on the radar screen and changed their mind. So it was just so it was just a matter of me giving up that caused a breakthrough.
I think that sometimes that works. And I think sometimes, just getting away, we do. And sometimes when you just be, all of a sudden it just all comes together. And the only other thing that works for me is to go take a walk on the beach. But I live in Dallas, and so I'm not by the beach. The beach would work every single time. But other than going to the beach, helping somebody else and being of service always works for me.
It really does redirect the energy. So finally, and I know you have a special gift for our listeners, and I'll share that with them. But in general, right now, what is one action you would like them to take as soon as they finish streaming this episode?
I think the number one thing I would want them to realize is that the only difference between a contact and a contract is the R, and that R stands for relationships. So it's really about leading with contribution, and compensation will follow. So I think the action that I would love for them to take would be to work more on community than contacts, because it's really all about a network will get you reach, but a community gives you power.
Let me repeat that, because I thought that was so powerful. The only difference between a contact and a contract is an R, and the R stands for relationship.
Yep, I've probably been quoted on that for more than anything else I've ever said.
I can see why. All right, so fantastic. And first of all, I want to thank you so much for being here. And I know what you have for our listeners is inviting them. For anybody who's watching the video version of this episode right now on our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com, you will see the link on your screen. Also, it's in your show notes. The website to visit is www.m3, that's the number 3, m3bizquiz.com. I'll say that one more time for the people out jogging. www.m3bizquiz.com. What you're going to find there is the free M3, which stands for Marketing, Media, and Money, Biz Quiz. And in 3 minutes or less, this will help you assess the 7 key areas of your business to help you discover exactly what you're doing right, where you can make changes and the next steps to really ramp up the growth of your business. I'm probably going to check that out myself because I'm a big believer in continuous education and anything that I can do to get the slight edge in my business. You never know by taking just a few minutes to check something out, whether you decide to invest in it, whether you decide to take that conversation further, whether you decide working with someone like Patty is something that's really going to benefit your business, is to check it out and see if there's some small edge you can gain just from investing a few moments. And I encourage you to take that Pepsi challenge right now at www.m3bizquiz.com. And with that, Patty Farmer, thank you again. It's been an honor, and believe me, in education.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for tuning into the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast, where we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who are making a difference for their community, market, and audience. Remember to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast.